Caitlin ClarkA just silenced every single doubter with one shot. And Angel Reese, she's losing her mind on the bench. This is about to get ugly. 100% healthy. That's what Sue Bird said about Caitlin ClarkA before Team USA training camp. Not 90%. Not getting there. 100%. And when Sue Bird speaks, you listen, because what happened next proved she wasn't hyping up a comeback story. She was warning everyone that the storm was back. ClarkA walked into that gym after the worst season of her life. 13 games. Let me say that again. 13 games out of an entire WNBA season. Left quad, left groin, right groin, left ankle. The injury report read like a medical textbook. For someone who broke 62 records as a rookie, sitting on that bench watching others play was basically torture in slow motion. But here's where it gets interesting. While ClarkA was rehabbing in silence, grinding through physical therapy sessions nobody was filming, working on her game when nobody was watching, there were whispers. Can she come back from this? Will she ever be the same? Did the league figure her out? And her body just gave up. The press conference before camp started was different, though. ClarkA sat down, looked straight into those cameras, and said the words everyone needed to hear. I'm finally feeling 100% healthy. No hesitation, no doubt, just facts. But then she added something that made every reporter lean forward. I need to shake off some rust and regain my conditioning. That's called honesty. That's called being real about where you are while knowing exactly where you're going. And let me tell you something. That kind of self-awareness is what separates champions from pretenders. The reporters wanted to know if this was just brave talk. After everything she went through, could she really be back? One of them asked about her nerves, about that moment when doubt creeps in and you wonder if you've still got it. ClarkA's answer, pure gold. She said when she touched the basketball during warm-ups, before practice even started, that's when she felt comfortable. Not during some big moment. Not when the cameras were rolling. The second the ball hit her hands, muscle memory kicked in and everything came flooding back. She talked about working non-stop since the beginning of the season. All the rehab, all the recovery, getting back to where she was and then pushing even further. This wasn't just about coming back. This was about coming back better. And you could see it in her eyes. That fire everybody fell in love with during her rookie year, it never left. It was just waiting to burn again. ClarkA got real about what being injured taught her. She called it isolating. She learned what her teammates go through when they're hurt. She learned how to be a better supporter from the bench. But mostly, she learned something that should scare every opponent in the league. She said she would have taken 10 bad games in a row just to be out there playing, because that's how much she loves competing with her teammates. Read that quote again. 10 bad games just to play. That's not someone who lost their passion during recovery. That's someone who came back hungrier than before. Now, let's talk about what happened on the court, because this is where the story goes from good to legendary. ClarkA stepped onto that court for scrimmages, and everyone went silent. Coaches watching every step, teammates studying every movement. The pressure was absolutely suffocating. Would she look like the same player? Or would those months of injuries show up in ways conditioning can't fix? She started cautious. A few safe passes, some solid defense, nothing flashy. People started wondering if maybe the comeback wouldn't be as smooth as everyone hoped. You could feel the doubt creeping into that gym. Then something happened that will be replayed for years. ClarkA caught a pass near half court. 2 dribbles. And then she pulled up from the logo. The same spot that made her famous. The same mechanics that broke 62 records. Zero hesitation. The ball left her hands with that perfect rotation everyone recognizes instantly. Swish. Nothing but net. The gym exploded. Players jumped off benches. Coaches started clapping. That familiar sound of ClarkA's shot finding the bottom of the net sent actual chills through everyone there. And in that single moment, months of doubt and worry just evaporated into thin air. One shot. That's all it took. One shot to announce to the basketball world that Caitlin ClarkA was not just back. She was ready to dominate again. Bird watched from the sideline with this knowing smile. She nodded like she'd seen exactly what she expected, because legends recognize legends. What Bird saw was someone who never lost it in the first place. But ClarkA didn't stop there. She followed up that logo 3 with laser passes, finding teammates in perfect positions. Her court vision looked sharper than ever. On defense, she anticipated plays and disrupted passing lanes like someone who never missed a single day. The rush she mentioned, gone. Completely gone. The entire pace of practice changed. ClarkA's energy spread like wildfire. Players moved faster. Passes got crisper. Defense became more intense. She wasn't just participating anymore. She was leading. That burst up the floor, that control, that pure shooting form, everything was back. And maybe even better than before. Even when she missed a few shots during drills, she muttered under her breath and kept pushing. That competitive fire that made her must-watch television during her rookie year burned as bright as ever. She also reconnected with Cameron Brink during camp. They've known each other for almost 9 years, since their U16 days. That chemistry with teammates, still there, still strong. That single logo 3 became the defining moment everyone points to. Not just physically healthy, mentally ready to dominate. The shot announced her return to the basketball world in a way no press conference ever could. Team USA found their leader for 2026 and beyond right there in that moment. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Sue Bird and head coach Cheryl Reeve huddled together after practice with huge smiles on their faces. Their animated discussion focused on one player who blew away every expectation. Building a new Team USA identity around younger talent while keeping championship standards isn't easy. They needed someone special to anchor their vision for 2026 Berlin and 2028 Los Angeles. Veterans like Chelsea Gray were in camp competing hard for starting spots. Established stars expected prominent roles. So when the decision came down to elevate Clark immediately as a starter, it caught people off guard throughout the basketball world. Some questioned whether she deserved such quick recognition after missing most of her sophomore season. But the coaching staff had seen enough to know better. Sue Bird went on record about Clark's leadership qualities during camp. She praised Clark's commitment and engagement with teammates throughout her injury-riddled season. Even when sidelined, Clark traveled to almost every Fever road game and stayed active on the bench. That's leadership. That's what it looks like when someone truly cares about the team over personal stats. Bird noted that Clark understood the challenges her teammates faced because she lived through them herself. That kind of empathy makes you a better leader. Coach Reeves' assessment focused on Clark's basketball IQ and seamless integration with other players. She watched Clark work with backcourt partners like Jackie Young during scrimmages. Her ability to elevate teammates impressed everyone. She looked good on both ends and hadn't missed a beat. Behind the scenes, sources revealed Clark's work ethic during recovery impressed the coaching staff long before she touched a basketball in camp. She stayed connected. She supported injured teammates. She would text them and check on them when they dealt with their own health issues. Her character showed through the hardest moments of her career. The coaching staff noticed how Clark made everyone around her better. Her court vision created opportunities. Her defensive intensity raised the tempo. Players responded to her energy in ways that can't be taught or faked. The impact was obvious to anyone paying attention. Clark expressed pure excitement about representing her country again. Playing for your country is the biggest honor you can possibly have. She said that appreciation showed in every drill and scrimmage. She understood what wearing the USA jersey meant, and then came the announcement. Clark would start at point guard for Team USA. The